Don't you jinx us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a GameStack podcast. We apologize for the Nintendo click in our intro. I accidentally started a video, but we are not trying to steal Nintendo sounds, although I can't imagine that could be copyrighted. Please.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah. I imagine Nintendo's lawyers are on the phone as we speak, trying to shut us down.
Maybe they will reconsider because we're going to probably spend about 30 minutes talking about Legend of Zelda today.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Anyways, also, before we get started, welcome to the show. You're listening to episode 145, I Link, Therefore I Am. I am your co-host, Vendertron, and joining me this evening also is Shalene. Hello, Shalene.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Hi. I'm okay. A little tired. It was a week. It was a week.
Yeah.
I mean, not in the same. I don't mean that in the same way that I used to mean it, but I had a busy week and I am tired. But like it's not in a soul crushing way like it was.
It's a
before.
good tired, like you worked hard. You worked hard, Friday feeling, best little corner of the internet as always.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear that while it was a week, it wasn't the kind of week I used to have at my old job. So
it wasn't the toxic, sludgy mess of a week where you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get up on Monday and it's only Friday. And then you spend the whole weekend worrying about going back to work on Monday.
You're triggering my PTSD better.
Okay, move on with the show.
How are you doing?
I also had a busy week this week. Yeah, it's been quite busy. I feel like lots of big things happened this week, and I forgot all of them. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It's been really busy. I've been dealing with some family stuff. So it's kind of pulled me away from being able to do my work, but I actually found out that I'm going to Toronto next year in May for a scientific meeting that's paid for completely. So
nice.
That was today.
I love it when they're paid for.
And it's not going to be at the Toronto airport like it always is. It's actually going to be in downtown Toronto this time. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. It's gonna be a pretty chill week. Mando Day was so good this week.
Yes.
Did you watch it?
I did. I loved it. We're not spoiling The Mandalorian.
I'm not spoiling it, but it was probably the best episode of the season.
It was a great episode, and it actually resolved that plot line faster than I thought it would. Yeah. So I wonder where they're going to go from here.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited.
I'm so glad you're watching Mando now.
It's so good. It's so good.
Glad.
I secretly want to force Carlo to watch it with me, rewatch it. But he's like, I'm not really into Star Wars. I'm like, but this is not really Star Wars. It's it's better than Star Wars.
It really is. It really is. It's kind of its own category of thing.
It is. Yeah.
I was absolutely also I did. It was the same way with Archon and I. I was like, hey, I want to rewatch Mandalorian. You watch it with me, and now he's super into it too.
Yes.
So
yes,
that's like how he makes my Wednesday morning. I'm like getting ready to go to work. I'm like, all right.
Is our studio producer more of a Trekkie?
I don't know. I think he's a bit of both.
Star Wars.
I think he has about equal knowledge of both.
Okay. Well, I would imagine that he has extensive knowledge of both. Cataloged.
He is a big nerd.
Cataloged in filing cabinet 486 in his brain. So.
In his mind palace.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you all for joining us live this evening. Happy Friday to you. If you are just rolling in, grab a seat, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and sit tight. The show is sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every bag of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. Don't forget to tell your friends about the show, and if you like listening live, we look forward to having you every week. Join us at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/ We Just Love Games. And if you are unable to make the live show on Friday evenings, that's okay, because we post it to various podcast platforms.
All right, I need to take a little detour real quick to the chat where Kawaii Banana Sushi has said, I'm going to start sharing pictures of my Mando armor in Discord because it sounds like you each need to build a kit.
Oh, no.
And I want to know more. I want to know more, Banana Sushi. Definitely tell us more about this Mando armor. This is the way.
This is the way. I'd be lying if I told you that I didn't peruse Amazon for all the Mando merchandise. And I may or may not have almost bought a Baby Yoda at least twice. So, and then I was looking at Baby Yoda like car things, like a Baby Yoda car sticker.
One of my coworkers at my new fun job is super into Star Wars, and she doesn't work in my department, so I don't know her very well. But her car is just plastered with Star Wars stuff. And it's a Toyota SUV.
Yeah.
And it has her Toyota symbol has little Yoda ears on it.
Oh,
so
of course it does. Yeah.
Toyota.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So clever. So clever.
That's brilliant. Well, if you like Banana Sushi, have some good armor or cosplay things that you would like to share with the community, you can join us in our Discord. And Shalene will share with you how to join our Discord. Take it away, Shalene.
You can join our Discord by clicking on the link on our Twitch page. If you're watching us live, that is right below where we are speaking right now. But you can click that link whether or not we're live. It's always there for the click-in. So visit twitch.tv/ We Just Love Games.
There for the click-in. I feel dirty. I feel dirty after you said that.
It keeps on ticking.
Don't say that again. Okay, we've got some news. We've got some stocks to talk about. It's also new releases month, so we're going to kick that off before we hop into the news. We're going to talk about what the community is playing. I think we have some screenshots and stories and a bit of mail, and then we'll cap things off nicely, as we always do with our gameplay, and then send you on your way out into the video game universe for the weekend. Let's hop right into it with the new releases, starting the news with this just in. As always, shout out to Joseph Tao, our MIA studio gremlin, who often produces the news for us. Thank you as always. We hope you're doing well. April new releases. Are you ready, Shalene?
I was born ready.
Okay, this time we're actually getting ahead of it. We're not announcing games that have come out 2 or 3 days ago. So, on April 4th, you can expect on PSVR2 Creed: Rise to Glory Championship Edition. You can also expect on PS4, PS5, and Switch Grim Grimoire Once More. And finally, coming out on PS4 and Xbox One, Hogwarts Legacy.
Is that right? Didn't that already come out?
Not for PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's because it was originally on PS5 and PC.
I get it.
And okay. Maybe Series X. Yeah.
Roger.
You can also expect on the 4th Meet Your Maker, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC.
I feel like that's a bit of a threat. Meet Your Maker.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And also a cult classic, I'm calling it, Road 96: Mile, which I think is an addition or an extension to the original Road 96, which if you haven't played it, it's very good, very rich in storyline. That's coming out. Oh, it's called Mile Zero. And that's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Then on April 6th, you can expect Curse of the Sea Rats on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. As well, you can also expect Everspace 2 on PC. Then on the 11th, we will have Tron: Identity out on the Switch. Then on the 14th, Mega Man Battle New York Legacy Collection, PS4, Switch, and PC. And on the 18th, God of Rock, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC.
I feel like that should be a God of War rhythm game spinoff.
Maybe, yeah. If it doesn't have Jack Black in it, I'm not playing it.
I just want to see Kratos like shredding an electric guitar. It would be amazing.
Yeah. Minecraft Legends, it will be coming out also on the 18th. That's going to be on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. And then Horizon Forbidden West: Burning Shores on PS5, April 19th. Coffee Talk Episode 2: Hibiscus and Butterfly on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Switch. Shalene, didn't you play Coffee Talk?
I didn't. It's been highly recommended to me many times, but I haven't played it yet.
Seems like, yeah.
You may remember Jessica Starr talking about it.
Is this the one about like
that she talked
hot
about
dads
it.
dating or something?
That was like
Dream Daddy.
Dream Daddy, yeah.
That was Dream Daddy.
Yeah. We should have played that. We never played that either.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good one for you and I to play together.
That would be fun. Yeah. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp on the Switch on the 21st. Also on the 21st, Dead Island 2, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. And then on the 25th, on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, S, and PC, we have After Image. And then we have Desta: The Memories Between on Switch and PC on April 26th. Bramble: The Mountain King on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Switch and PC on the 27th, as well as Kazuna or AI. Kazuna AI.
I'm going to go with AI.
Touch the Beat. PS4, Switch, PSVR, and PC. Omega Strikers on Switch. The Last Case of Benedict Fox on Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. Also on the 27th. And then finally, Star Wars Jedi: Survivor on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And that comes out on April 28th.
I never did finish the first of that series, and I really need to.
Yeah. That's the new releases. It's actually kind of a short list.
It is. Yeah, it's a light list for April, but I think we'll see an uptick in May.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. We have free games for April. Xbox games with gold, as always, you can expect. And the lineup for April has been officially announced by Microsoft. You can look forward to Out of Space: Couch Edition, and Peaky Blinders: Mastermind on Xbox Series X and S, and also the Xbox One. If you're unfamiliar, Out of Space Couch Edition is available from April 1st to the 30th. It's set in outer space, and as the captain of a cozy spaceship house, you'll need to manage your resources while strategically dealing with a deadly alien infestation. The goal is to create a sustainable environment out of the cold and dark vacuum of space, and if you're feeling social, you'll be able to play with friends as you explore the cosmos.
I want a cozy spaceship house.
Yeah. And then also, if space isn't your forte, you might enjoy Peaky Blinders Mastermind. This is based on the hit TV series that stars former Batman villain Cillian Murphy. I think I pronounced his name right.
I think you did too.
As Tommy Shelby, Birmingham's ruthless crime boss, and you'll be able to control 6 key members of the Shelby family, each with different strengths and weaknesses, as you uncover a plot to put the Shelbys out of business. Set before the events of the first season of the show, this game will be available from April 16th to May 15th. So you can check that out. And also check out Xbox Games Pass Ultimate 1-month subscription, $5. It was $15. But there's going to be a change. Didn't Microsoft announce a change to their Xbox Games Pass?
They're no longer doing the $1 the $1 trial. For a while, you could get a month for $1, your first month for $1.
Mm-hmm,
They're not
mm-hmm.
going to do that anymore. It's
PlayStation.
still an amazing deal.
Moving along, PlayStation has also announced their free games for the month of April. The next batch of free games is for PS Plus subscribers, and the lineup will feature Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Meet Your Maker, which, as we just announced, comes out this month, and Tales of Iron. Um, and Sackboy: Big Adventure is really the big one here. A spin-off of the Little Big Planet series. Sackboy launched alongside the PS5 in 2020, and it was originally released for the PS4, but it's essentially a Little Big Planet's take on Super Mario 3D World, and it's got some really good platforming mechanics, some good level design, and apparently a very good soundtrack. So if you're looking for a game to play with kids, this may be the ideal couch co-op for up to 4 players. Also, Oddbug Studio Tales of Iron is worth checking out. This is a side-scrolling RPG with storybook graphics. It features challenging melee combat that will test your fortitude, and you actually play as a rat named Reggie,
It looks so
which I
cute.
think is adorable, and he really leads the charge to save the kingdom of evil frogs. Personally, I don't think there is a frog on this planet that is evil, but... And then lastly, Meet Your Maker, which is coming out this month. Brand new online multiplayer game that launches for consoles and PC on April 4th. Subscribers won't have to spend any money to start playing. It's described as a building and raiding game that tasks you with creating and plundering fortresses filled with different traps and guards and things like that. And you can also build your own outpost and then invite your friends to try to make it to the end of your maze. And you can build and raid different outposts solo or alongside with friends as well.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Twitch Prime also is going to be giving away some games this month. And a total of 15 games are going to be delivered to Prime members along with a slew of additional content. Highlighting some free titles, specifically Wolfenstein's The New Order. This was a 2014 first-person shooter from Machine Games and Bethesda Softworks. I remember how excited Rick was to play this game. Mm-hmm. Other free games coming over the next month through Prime will include things like Ninja Commando on April 6th, as well as Art of Fighting 3, The Beast Inside on the April 13th, including also Icewind Dale: Enhanced Edition, Cross Swords, Ghost Pilots, and then on April 20th, Beholder 2, Terraformers, Metal Slug 4, Ninja Masters, and then on April 27th, Looking for Aliens, Grime, Sengoku, and Magician. And of course, don't forget, the benefits of Prime Gaming expand far beyond just the free games. There's free in-game content that are offered for various titles as well. And League of Legends players can claim a Prime Gaming capsule that includes a mystery skin permanent. This is guaranteed, and it's also a champion permanent and 350 riot points, 4 champion shards, 30-day XP boost. The list goes on. I won't go into too much detail there, but this will also be available for Wild Rift, Legends of Runeterra, Valorant, and for the first time this year, Teamfight Tactics. And that'll be starting in April. Prime members can claim their free content, of course, in TFT, as well throughout the year. Prime Gaming is also extending its collaboration with Blizzard with new content for Overwatch 2, Hearthstone, and World of Warcraft. So next month, players will be able to claim the various skins for Overwatch 2, as well as World of Warcraft, and a random standard epic card for Hearthstone. So that's actually quite a lot for Prime, Twitch Prime. And then last for free stuff, while this isn't necessarily free yet, but next week's free Epic Games Store's titles have supposedly been leaked. According to a highly reliable data miner. Bill Coon. Dying
Oh,
Light.
Bill. I
Bill
mean,
Coon, yes.
we can trust Bill.
Yes. Dying Light, the following enhanced edition, will be free to claim from Epic's PC Marketplace from April 6th to the 13th. This game was released in 2016, which includes the original Dying Light and a range of DLC, including its the following story expansion. And as an update to that article, literally just in, Epic has actually confirmed that Dying Light Enhanced Edition and the pirate PvP game Blazing Sails will be free from April 6th to the 13th. So
Bill knew what was up.
Yeah, he knew. And what else have we got on here? The store's latest free titles, Chess Ultra World of Warships Starter Pack. Those are still available to download for the next 6 hours or so. And this was as of yesterday, so this is no longer available. Sorry. Epic actually has been giving away a lot of titles, Shalene. They gave away 99 free titles last year, which was up from the 89 that they gave away in 2021. And the games have combined a combined worth of $2,240. Users have claimed over 700 million free titles. I am among that group. And
I would like to ask our folks at home a question. And you as well. Do you play any of these free games?
Oh, yeah.
It's like I redeem my free games all the time. I never play them.
Let me see what I've got.
I have a massive Epic library. I don't think I've ever played a game in Epic.
I'm going to start my Epic library up and tell you the free games that I've got and played so that you know.
I am for this. I would like it if you would.
I've played quite a few. Call of the Sea was the one that I picked up that was free. I know I told you that RT said gave me a code for it. That's not true. That's for another game. Call of the Sea was the most recent free game that I grabbed on Epic Games Launcher. But yeah, the company suggested players should expect to see further high-profile Epic Games Store exclusives announced in the future. And its State of Unreal keynote at the GDC last week, they announced the beta release of the Unreal editor for Fortnite, alongside the launch of a new creator economy. So Epic is really on their way in terms of creating new content and really sharing with the community. Although they really need to improve their Epic launcher because it's still loading for me, so I can't tell you those new games. We do have a
little bit of feedback from chat. Moxie says that she does sometimes, but she's pretty behind. And Blame Rousseau says sometimes, and that their kids loved Alba.
Alba is so good. I played Alba, and it was just like the best. Shalene, you've got to play it. You've got to play it. It's so good. It's like I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. I was going to say it's almost like Animal Crossing, but it's not. It's not. It's really not. Anyways, that's the free titles and all the other free stuff that's leaked and coming. And so don't pay money for games. Just get them for free.
Yeah. That's a great plan. Really great plan.
What's on the news stack? Let's get into the dirty details of high society.
So we're just going to focus on a few news articles this week so that I can spend more time freaking out about the new Zelda information.
We knew this was coming. So
yeah, I went ahead and cleared my schedule for this. But we're going to start out with, I like to just throw these super heavy articles in here sometimes. And we've got an update on the Chris Avellone situation. This is something that we have reported on numerous times on GameStack podcast. It's been an ongoing story. It has been a complicated story. I'm not going to go through the entire history. You can just listen to the previous 144 episodes of GameStack if you'd like to catch up. But
we got to do seasons. We got to do seasons.
To give you the TLDR of this, Chris Avellone was accused of sexual assault by multiple women during the height of the gaming industry's Me Too situation. And there was some pretty incontrovertible proof that he did some things that were pretty uncomfortable. and he admitted to these things and apologized to them, but doing things that are uncomfortable and being a bad boyfriend and not being a great guy to date, those things don't necessarily conflate to assault. That's a different thing. And I don't mean to make light of this situation at all, but something that happened here is that he was accused of acts that he didn't do. And recently it has been announced that Chris Avellone won a libel lawsuit. Um, and For anybody who doesn't really know who Chris Avellone is, he's a video game writer. He was one of the lead writers on Fallout New Vegas. He During the time that these accusations came out, he was a writer on Dying Light 2 and The Waylanders, and his work was absolutely scrubbed from those games, setting the development of these games way back. He lost work, he lost his reputation. But now, two of his accusers, Carissa Barrows and Kelly Ray Bristol, wrote a joint statement in which they said, "We believe that he deserves a full return to the industry and support him in these endeavors." They have fully retracted all previous statements that they have made. And there has been a settlement in the seven figures in Avalon's favor. So.
And what's going to happen to these people, these accusers?
I'm pretty sure that seven-figure settlement is going to hurt them pretty badly. But I don't. I think that's it. But I mean, I'm sure their reputations will suffer as well in the
Yeah, I mean,
industry.
because like they're not really named all that much,
Well,
but
that's because they're not as famous as Avalon,
yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah.
Um, their names are
Miss
here, and
Barrows and Miss Bristol, yeah,
mhm,
yeah,
yeah, it's just that they're not. Avalon's very famous. He's written a lot of huge games. That's why his name is the one that's focused on more than theirs.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. It's
I
I understand. Like I understand your frustration, right? Like it gives a bad name to people that's actually happened to,
It's really upsetting when
right?
you see this kind of thing happen because in my opinion, when a situation like this happens and these people who were claiming to have been victimized fully retract their statements like this, to me that affects the credibility of people who have actually been victimized, and there are many people who have. um, Sexual harassment and assaults
Mm.
are commonplace, much more than they should be, and it's a horrific reality that many people deal with, both women and men.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of situation where it was unfounded accusations that affected this man's life, I believe that that is going to make it harder for women in the future, for women and men, of course, for victims in the future to be taken seriously
Mm.
when they do raise, their own legitimate situations in which they've been harmed. And I hate it. I hate it a lot. And I'm not saying that Avalone is a stand-up guy because I don't think he is. I think he's an
Well, it's
incredibly
it's like
talented writer.
it's like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Like they're both
There were
garbage.
no good people in
They're
that. In
both
that,
garbage human
yeah,
beings, right?
no good people in that marriage. But yeah, I'm not saying that Avalone is a blameless and blessed individual. I think that he's a bit of a scumbag. Incredibly talented writer. I admire his work. I think he's not a great guy.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the kind of man that I would want to date.
Yeah.
But
And
being
like even though clearing his name may be a thing, employers are going to look at him differently, right?
that stain will stay with him
Mhm.
forever.
Mhm.
But I think that you should be convicted of the crimes you committed and not crimes you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
if what he's guilty of is being a bit of a sleaze, that's what he should be known for. He shouldn't be made out to have been a rapist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's very different. It is very different. And I just
Hmm.
I'm
I mean, he probably feels good that he can finally put this to rest,
I'm sure it's so validating for him
right?
to have this resolution.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the right thing for him. But this was just a horrible, dirty situation the whole time. And it was complicated. Every update that we got was a little more complicated. And I would love it if this was the last time I ever had to talk about this story.
Well, let's make it the last time we ever talk about this story. There it is. That's the end.
All
What
right,
what
we're
else have you
moving
got?
on.
What else have you got?
Okay, I wanted to move on to something happy, but I can't because life is awful and everything's horrible. And
What's going? You
E3
just said
has
you had a
been
good.
canceled.
Oh, there it is.
E3 has been canceled. So we had already previously reported on GameStack
Uh huh.
about the fact that the major three publishers had declined to participate in this year's E3. And as we went forward, I kept hearing more and more rumors and seeing these reports that major publisher after major publisher was also declining to participate in E3, where it got to the point who is going to participate in E3, and that's going to be no one. No one's going to participate in E3. They canceled it because of this lack of participation.
I called it.
You did call it, and I wanted you to be wrong. Yes, vendor sent me a message on Monday, I think it was,
Yeah.
saying, I'm calling it right now. E3 is not going to happen. They're going to cancel it. And I was like, I mean, yeah, that's possible, but I don't want that to happen. I love E3. You know, E3 is such a one. It's gamer Christmas. It's a wonderful time of the year. But the ESA has chosen to cancel it, both in person and digital formats. There will be no E3. Um, I feel like Jeff Keighley, he's still doing his Summer Game Fest thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I totally feel like he came out the gate with the meme of the kid that's like crouched by the grave doing the peace sign.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's Jeff Keighley right now. Like, yeah, Summer Game Fest.
Uh,
And I'm so sad. I'm so sad. So sad.
so, I mean, you obviously have a different perspective than I do because you've been there and you've
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it and it has a special place for you. Um, but
But you know,
I'm on the fence, Shalene. Like,
I loved E3 before I had ever been. You know, I used to
yeah,
book days off from work for E3
yeah,
and
yeah,
just stay home and watch all the stuff and be
yeah,
excited.
yeah. It is Gamer Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't like. What does this mean? Because like I wasn't particularly fond of E3 mainly because I think it was wildly mismanaged.
Mm-hmm. It
And
absolutely was. Yeah.
I really didn't trust the entity that was driving it. Specifically when they ask for a photocopy of your
That's
passport to get a media pass. And then like in the same year they leak millions of records
mm-hmm.
of people that are attending the conference. So like what's going on in the inner cogs of that machine that are not oiled? And I think, I don't know why companies pulled out. I think part of it was COVID. I
From
think
what
a
I'm
big part of it was
hearing,
COVID, but I think another part of it was that these companies had unsteady trust in E3.
yes.
Yeah.
Of course, part of the issue and a lot of the issue, I think, in terms of the big three in particular, is that they learned that they do not need E3. They can hold
Mm-hmm.
their own event at the same time that also happens to be in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and for no particular reason at all, we're not trying to coincide with E3, but they can hold their own event where they don't have to pay the ESA for booth space. They don't have to um, invest in any of that, but they can still reap the benefit of having all of the press,
Mm-hmm.
because that's E3 is also one of those times of year when the wider world
It's the
casts its
red carpet.
eyes
Yeah.
onto
Yeah.
the gaming space.
It's
You
like
start seeing reports in the mainstream media. But I'm hearing a lot of reports this week that, specifically, companies were not being given enough information by ReadPop, the organizers of this year's event, who it
yeah,
was the
because it
first
it
year
underwent a new
that they were going to
company.
be.
Yeah.
ReadPop was doing it for the first time this year. And from what I'm hearing, companies were not getting enough information back to be confident that they could commit and move forward with planning for the event. So I
Mm.
think it was a situation with poor organization.
Mm.
So
I
it's
mean,
a
it's too
shame.
bad.
It's a
It's too
shame.
bad. I mean, I just finished sort of bashing E3, but I will say that
Mm-hmm.
there is a certain cohesiveness in the industry that I think is eroding,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I've expressed this concern before when we talk about Microsoft's hostile takeovers of
Yeah.
studios and things like that. And I worry that the industry is losing its diversity, and as a result, also kind of losing its entity or identity, and introducing a sort of unnecessary competition that may or may not necessarily be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and and E3 was sort of like the happy place. Everybody was there. It was Everybody was there to have a good time and show off what they've been working on, and they worked together. I think was it we had Sony and Xbox do a conference together before in the past, right, at E3? Or
I
was
don't
it
think that's the
Bethesda?
case. Bethesda and Xbox, because
Bethesda.
Xbox bought
Well,
Bethesda.
yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it, it's going to be separate now,
Mm-hmm.
and people are going to have to make a choice because these things are going to cost money to attend. And before you had to pay one fee to go to E3, now you've got to pay multiple fees at different venues across wherever and travel if they're not in the
Mm-hmm.
same place. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to really help. I think companies are going to find that they are actually more successful in the digital space with virtual
Mm-hmm.
conferences and things like that.
Right.
Yeah. But
We'll see how things shape up. I'm interested to see if Summer Game Fest becomes something, if it evolves into something that is somewhat of a replacement for E3. I
mhm.
don't feel like it's there yet. I really don't. But we'll see how that develops, or if E3 is maybe going to rally and get their stuff together and come back next year with a well organized, uh, successful show.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see that, but
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that they canceled it this year when they were supposed to make that triumphant return, I'm kind of losing hope. I'm kind of losing hope.
Well, I mean, COVID really, really, I think, was the nail in the coffin
Mm-hmm.
for it, right?
Yeah.
People realized that they could still achieve the same results with their products without spending all the money. And
Mm-hmm.
it took a pandemic to sort of realize that. And it's not just E3 conferences, in my neck of the woods, in healthcare, in research, companies are realizing and organizations are realizing that hosting a virtual conference is so cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
People don't have to travel, so attendance is actually better, and things like that. So I don't know.
Interesting. We'll see how things shake
And it was in
out.
LA,
And
right?
it was in LA, and that
LA.
was it was fun. I enjoyed going to LA. Jeff Keighley doesn't answer my emails, so I probably won't be going to Summer Game Fest. Uh,
Didn't you have him on the show at one point?
oh, no, no, no. We never had Jeff Keighley on the show.
Oh.
No. Yeah. Um I've never actually met him. I'm sure he doesn't know I exist. But yeah.
Hmm.
Let's talk about Chuck Norris, shall we?
Okay. Why not?
I mean, he's Walker, Texas Ranger, and I don't know where I was going with that. Let's talk
Um,
about Crime Boss Rock City. Will you take this
oh my
over?
God,
I'm
Shalene, it's
done.
so good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay,
Have you played
I
it?
have not played it.
Have
Don't
you watched other people play it?
I have not watched any gameplay. I haven't played it. I have tried to stay away from it as much as possible because it's actually something that I want to play. And that's how I
Hmm.
roll. That's what I did with Cyberpunk, and I was really happy that I took that sort of approach.
Right.
Um, so yeah. Um, but Crime Boss Rock City, you guys, this game is been highly anticipated, especially for being known as the game of the year that has the most stars in it. Let me just cue up the B-roll here while I talk about this. But Shalene and I reported on Crime Boss Rock City in the past. This is a first-person co-op shooter that features stars like Chuck Norris, Vanilla Ice, Danny Glover, Kim Basinger, Danny Trejo, Michael Madsen, um, and many more individuals as well. And it's received sort of middling reviews, Shalene. Other players, as well as yourself, embark on different crime missions to become the king of Rock City. And reviews for the co-op shooter have gone live today,
I
but
did not realize this was co-op. We could
some
play this
we
together.
should totally play it together. Some critics have enjoyed the gameplay, while others, have commented otherwise. But the writing, the characters, and the overall presentation appear to be quite good. It gives Attack of the Fanboy gives it 6 out of 10. Said it's not every day that we get a new studio taking a big swing by taking a genre that has been executed perfectly for years and giving it a unique twist. Crime Boss Rock City might not have the most versatile activities, best gunplay, or first class writing, but it does provide an interesting experience that, like a cheap B movie, has that certain kind of charm that you just can't help enjoy. So, Shack News gives it a 5 out of 10 with very similar reviews as well. Screen Rant gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Said limited time to play the review build of Crime Boss, but it felt unfinished and needed more gameplay. The game planned to be a live service experience with more time, but the developer In-Game Studios will hopefully add more features as the game grows. There is fun to be had with a team of 4 friends completing missions together. It's still in its current state, feels like a low-level wannabe criminal trying to get rich quick on the street populated with multiplayer shooters. So I don't know. It's yeah. The Gamer gave it 2 out of 5. GG Recon gave it 2 out of 5. So this is a wait and see. This is
Hmm.
exactly what Cyberpunk was for me, right? It was don't buy it right away. Don't pay $80 for it. Add it to your wish list and wait for it to go on sale and
Yeah.
wait for that 1.5 patch.
After a couple of patches, yeah.
Right? So,
I had no idea this was co-op. I feel like this would be a fun
I think
shenanigan.
we should totally play it. I think it would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
And I
And it's
mean,
4
it's
people.
and Chuck Norris is in there.
Chuck Norris. I mean, the game could be it could be it could be as bad as PUBG. And as long
Hmm.
as Chuck Norris is in it and Danny Trejo.
Hmm.
Danny
On
Trejo was
board.
also in Far Cry. Did you know that?
No, which Far Cry was he in?
I don't know. The
There's been a
one
bunch of them.
the one in Cuba. I don't know. It takes place in Cuba
I think that was
or
the most recent one, maybe.
yeah, yeah. Anyways,
The one
Crime
with the
Boss.
little dog.
You may want to check it out. You may want to hold off. I'm not sure.
I feel like this is definitely a wait and see game. Wait for the price to drop a bit, wait for those patches, and I think it will be worth checking out soon.
All right.
Has the moment come?
Down to the real business.
I'm excited. We're going to talk about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There was a Zelda Direct held recently, earlier this week. And I watched it. I took some notes. I'm super excited about it. And we're just going to go through some of this B-roll and freak out about it. Um, they
So
also,
so Can you tell me your initial impressions when you watched it?
Well, I was over the moon. I thought it looks amazing. It looks like I mean, basically, if you've played Breath of the Wild, then you know what to expect from Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
It's that, but more, and that's absolutely what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my overall impressions after watching this Nintendo Direct, which included about 10 minutes of gameplay, I thought, if that's what they're showing us, what else is in this game? Like, if they're showing us all this amazing, cool, adventurous stuff, fun things we can do, what are they keeping under the cuff? What are they? What's left to discover?
Mm-hmm.
And that the idea of that is very exciting. And you can see they've expanded Hyrule. Of course, you can't see that if you're one of the many audio folks, but you can watch this yourself and know what we're talking about. The Hyrule is similar, but it has undergone many changes. And one of those changes to the map is that there are now islands floating in the sky that you can visit. And there are different ways to get up there. He's showing one that you are able to access via a new power that is a rewind time power.
Oh, cool.
So this rock fell from the sky. Have you seen this at all, Vendor?
Mm-mm.
So this rock fell from the sky and he's climbing on it using the power, and it goes right back up because he has rewound time.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
it's a bit of
yes.
puzzle platforming.
And in the prior game, there was a lot of very puzzly aspects to the use of some of the abilities and powers.
Mm-hmm.
And that is no different. There are just several new abilities. We were shown three in the course of this direct, and so he was able to access this little island here, and it's gosh, it's so gorgeous. Hyrule is still looking really good. There are many of these islands that are
Is
up in
there
the
still
sky.
Doku Forest? Is that what it is? Kuroku Forest?
Deku,
Deku.
Kokiri,
Kokiri. Okanara of time.
the Okanara of time. Oh my
I would
gosh.
like to just preface that by saying that I have played The Legend of Zelda on Nintendo 64 fully, and I
Mm-hmm.
loved it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing better than getting your horse. But anyways,
So good. And this the gameplay goes on to demonstrate Link has grabbed a stick and he's fighting a new enemy type with this stick. This new enemy type is interesting to me. I hope we get a little bit of mysterious lore about these guys.
so that he looks like he's like part tree, part robot.
Yes, he looks very much like a construct of some kind. I think that's what they were called,
Like
a
his
construct. I
skin
don't
is kind of
remember.
construct horn.
Like made of
Soldier
yeah.
construct horn, yeah. Yeah.
But one of the biggest complaints that many longtime Zelda fans had against Breath of the Wild was weapon durability. The weapons break after so many uses.
Okay.
They have variable durability, and you saw that stick he was using broke right away.
Yeah.
Um, so that is something that is returning. But now we've seen a new ability, a second new ability. It's called Fuse. He got a stick and fused it to that boulder. And now he has a boulder on a stick, which is a hammer or a mace.
Bam,
And it
bam.
is much more powerful than the stick alone, much more durable than the stick alone. And it is a fun time. And as we go through this, um,
Can we
he
yeah, I just want to talk about Link himself as well.
go
Um
ahead.
he looks so grown up. He's like
He does,
he's come
yeah.
into being a man, you know, his hair is all flowy and cascading, and he's not the cute little dwarfy Link that I know in N64.
I like his longer hair, and I hope that we have some hairstyle options. Like,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah,
What
I'm
is this
looking forward to
giant
the new
pitchfork that
fashion.
he oh,
So
that's
that was a fused weapon, that
okay,
pitchfork. That
okay.
was a fused weapon. And enemies in the world can also use fused weapons. Here you can see Link is fusing an item to his bow. So he has created an ice arrow by using some ice choo choo jelly. Um,
You are so excited. Are you okay
Hate it.
now? I understand from the Discord community that there is a Nintendo Switch console exclusive for Legend of Zelda.
There is. They made a beautiful Zelda themed new OLED
And
Switch.
you're gonna get it probably, right?
I want it. I want it, vendor. I want it. But like I shouldn't and you see you can use a keys eye and it makes a homing arrow. It's so cool. So cool. So you don't even have to be a good shot anymore. You can just fight some keys, get their eyes. But I on the one hand, like yes, I want it, and I have collected many exclusive Zelda things in the past. I have the Zelda Wii U, I have the Golden Zelda Wiimote and Nunchuck from the Wii. I have the Golden Zelda 3DS, and I have a bit of a collection of these things.
Can we? Okay, I want to
But on the
pause
other
it
hand,
because
I
I
don't
know
want to spend that money.
I'm gonna pause this for a sec because I know that there's a couple things you want to go through
Mm-hmm.
with this, but I just want to acknowledge Moxie in the chat says so excited for this game. Gonna miss the first couple of days. It's out though since I will be out of state for a wedding. That's no excuse. This game comes out on a console that you can carry in your pocket. Play it at the wedding.
Maybe she's in the wedding. Maybe they're standing next to the
Still,
bride.
no excuse. No excuse.
Oh no. One of my coworkers is also a huge Zelda fan. I don't know if I've told you this, but we were talking about this Zelda Direct today, and our excitement for it. And
Yeah.
he came by my office later. He's like, "So, are we getting the flu in May?"
You work in the best place ever.
I was like, he went
uh,
next door and he was telling our boss, "You're going to be down two staff in May."
it's hilarious.
Oh
Uh,
my goodness gracious. And if you want to scrub forward a little bit, well, no, we're already here to this part. This is the next part I wanted to really talk about. So you see this big area of water.
right. Yeah.
At this point, Link doesn't have the stamina to swim across that much water.
Okay.
So he can build a raft out of these logs using that fuse ability. That's what Eiji Onuma
Oh, I love
is
it.
demonstrating. He builds a little raft, and you see those little fan things next to him.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
We basically turn those into an outboard motor.
yeah.
And just the possibilities, the sheer possibilities we have here for shenaniganry, it boggles the mind, Fender. It boggles the mind. We can attach these fans in different positions. We can create a flying machine. We can create a car. We can create a speedboat. The possibilities feel endless. And this is part of what I was thinking when, if they're showing us this cool stuff, how much other stuff is possible?
Right.
How much cool stuff have the developers and game testers have they not even thought of?
Can you fuse enemies together?
I hope so. I saw a comic that someone had drawn where they had fused a chicken to the shield. And
Oh, no.
if you played the 64 version of Zelda, then you know that the chickens are the most among the most fearsome enemies
Right.
in the series.
Yes.
And the idea of facing a fearsome chicken towards your enemy is just it's
I like that the fusing is not entirely like freeform, that
mm-hmm.
it does do a little bit of snapping,
Yes.
which is gonna make it a lot easier for people to quickly craft something when they need to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a good choice. Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm
Little
just so
outboard
excited.
motor.
Isn't that great?
Oh man.
And see, here he's made like a tractor, an
Yeah.
air balloon, and so many different gadgets have been made with the fusibility and all of these different items. And I can't wait to mess with this myself. I can't wait to see what the community does with it. It's going to be marvelous. I feel like the videos from this game will be legendary.
Huh.
Legendary, I tell you. And here we see a third ability that is about to be demonstrated. So, for the audio folks, Link has walked into a little gazebo and he used a power that basically shot him upwards through the ceiling of this little gazebo. So, you can use this ascend ability to basically just phase through the roof of
That's cool.
anything. It doesn't just have to be a little gazebo like this, it can
Yeah.
be through a naturally occurring cave. Just as long as there is a rooftop available, you can phase yourself right through it. And that is a much more efficient way of getting to the top of things than having to climb with your
Is
raggedy
is there
stamina.
a height limit, I
I
wonder?
don't know if there is a height limit. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And you can see he is freezing to death on this snowy peak
Yeah.
in his little shorts and no
I
no
assume you
shirt.
can change his outfit, right? You get different
Yes,
things and yeah.
that was a mechanic in Breath of the Wild. You had to dress seasonally appropriate based on where you were. Um, so you needed clothes that will cool you down if you're in the desert, and you needed warm clothes if you were in a winter environment. And
Right.
here you can see another one of the new construct enemies, and he's got a like a basically it looks like a sign on a stick. It's a big old plank of wood on a stick,
That's
and
paddling.
he's using it like a giant fan to poof Link backwards. And he actually poofs him right off of the Sky Island. So Anuma took this
Wow, this
opportunity to
map is
show
really big.
it's enormous. And I felt like the Breath of the Wild map was big, but this can be an even bigger map. But he took this opportunity to show us that you can do some different things in terms of navigating as you fall with
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
You can speed your fall, you can adjust your fall, um, and of course, falling into the water is a safe way to fall.
Okay. So what is this thing flying around in the background carrying a kangaroo or whatever?
I don't know. I don't
Oh, it
recognize
looks like a
that.
dragon.
Yeah, I feel like that may be a new enemy.
And who is this guy? What
This is Eiji
is this the
Onuma. He
boss?
is
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
he
just
is
kidding. I'm kidding.
the man of Zelda. He is the fellow who makes this happen. So I believe that is the end of the gameplay demo, and he moves on to show us the beautiful, beautiful
Oh
console.
yeah, let's quickly just
So
show the
let's
people.
just look at it. It's
Let's
so
show the
pretty,
people.
Vendor, and I want one. I
So
do
it's
have.
glittery gold, which I
Isn't it
love.
lovely?
It's glittery gold. I just noticed. I like that. And the
It's so pretty.
it's actually it's like a it's painted. It's not like a vinyl wrap or anything, right?
No,
Yeah.
it's so pretty.
That is
Gosh,
very pretty. Yeah.
I may have to find a way to make this
I mean, you could
happen.
Kickstarter it.
I would Kickstarter it. Go fund my Zelda OLED dreams.
Yeah. So the this version of the Switch will be available on April 28th. Although I'm sure it's probably already sold out.
I think that they have actually had a pretty good supply of this. Um, and it's in the hands of some YouTubers and stuff already. So
Oh,
um, they've um, they've got them ready. They were prepared. They knew how in demand this was going to be.
yeah.
It comes with Tears of the Kingdom pre-installed, I believe. But it does no, never mind. It says game and system sold separately. Never mind. Never mind. I was giving you bad information. But yeah, I'm thoroughly excited and very thrilled. And thank you for letting me just have the opportunity to gush about how much I'm looking forward to this and the new features we've seen.
I can you what I wonder, Shalene, is can you buy the Legend of Zelda controllers?
No, there is a pro controller.
So
I was just
the
watching the
idea
video.
what they're trying to get you to do is buy the whole unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't get the Joy-Con by themselves. They only come with the whole unit. There is a pro controller that is being sold separately, and like a case for your Switch, a carrying
That is
case
Zelda
for
themed.
your Switch that is Zelda themed. That that go with this whole thing.
Mm.
Um, I don't think the Pro controller is nearly as pretty as the Joy-Con.
Mm. Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so there is that.
Huh.
Um,
Anything else?
just going over my notes really quickly. I think we have covered everything that I was interested in covering. Thank you.
So you're definitely going to get the game.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. A terrible flu will sweep through my office and the one next door, and we will have switchitis and
Switus. Oh, that's good. Well, that's the news. Let's talk about the stocks. So, compared to our previous week, these prices close at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. Sony closed out at $90.65, up $3.12. Microsoft up $7.73 at $288.30. Nintendo closed out at $9.69, up $9, or up 9 cents, sorry. Take-Two up $1.18 at $119.30. Activision closing out at $85.59, up $1.20. Ubisoft closing out at $26.59, up $2.93. EA up $1.42 at $120.45. And 10-cent Games closing out at $48.89, up $1.04. So all of the stocks are in the green at the end of the week. It is a good week, like we were saying. Those are the stocks. Let's roll on into Mail Stack.
You've got mail.
What do you got, Shalene?
we have an update on the SS GameStack from Taz.
Ooh.
Yes, Taz reports, "Hello, friends.
You know
I'm
what?
here to report."
You know what, Shalene? Let's just pair the screenshots and do it at the
That's a
same
great
time
idea.
because
That's a great idea.
the only screenshots that we got this week were from Taz and they were of the SS GameStack. So take it away.
Okay. Hello, friends. I'm here to report on the recent events related to the good ship SS GameStack. After the building of the underground bunker for the WJLG outpost on the moon was well underway, SS GameStack began her new interstellar voyage to other planets, extending the reach of the WJLG network. Her new voyage takes her to Mars to establish the next new outpost. After dealing with a few hostile ships and situations, SS GameStack has made landfall on the surface of Mars, and outpost construction has begun. More to come in the coming weeks.
Okay, and so as for screenshots and stories, he posts this one of the outpost itself. He says the SS GameStack now safely on the surface, and construction of the new outpost has begun. Location is also in a good position to pick up signals from the moon outpost, and these are going to kind of go out of order because the image is loaded out of order. But this one here is the ship high in orbit above Mars, preparing to descend to the surface. And then, of course, he has a picture of the ship landing, final approach and preparing to make the challenging landing. Give all her extra weight to the supplies brought along with the journey and supplies pirated from space pirates and other hostiles. And then he has this awesome image of the ship deploying its parachute to slow it down as well. And Space Engineers is quite complex. Like, it's a lot of thought has to go into how you do this all. So he's given it a lot of consideration. Then here's the final shot of the beautiful SS GameStack landed on the surface of Mars. And actually, I kind of love how it looks like the surface of Mars. Shalene, last weekend, I may or may not have vaped a little bit too much CBD, and I ended up watching this 1:30 Mars documentary on the Curiosity rover, and I was so fixated on it, and it was so good. You have to go watch it. It's just a YouTuber that has put together this compilation for the 10-year birthday of the Mars Curiosity rover. But
I would love to watch that. Send me the link.
it was so cool. It goes about it talks about this robot's little journey through like 27 kilometers distance from where it landed, through these mountain ranges and hostile territory, and taking selfies of itself and like being proud of being able to drill a hole in a rock. And I mean, obviously they what's the word? personified.
Personify,
They
yes.
they personified it, but how can you not personify it? It's so cute.
He was a cute little rover.
Can we? And you know what it got me thinking of? We should have a game for that. There
Yes.
should be a game where you can play the Mars Curiosity rover or a Mars rover, and do a journey. And like it's like super technical. Like you've got to do analysis of the soils and send it back to NASA and
Yes,
do all
that would
this.
be
How
so
fun would
cool.
that be?
It would be like the space rover version of Flight Sim.
They also talked about the Mars rover Opportunity, which is now officially dead.
Oh,
It
R.I.P.
was powered through solar panels and a
Mhm.
battery cell, but the Opportunity rover is actually powered through a nuclear reactor.
Wow.
So that thing is going to last a very long time. And it's actually kind of smart. Why? I guess we didn't have the technology back then, but it's cool to see that SS GameStack is finally on Mars.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Anyways, that's what the community is playing. That's our mail stack. I haven't had too much time for games this week, but I have been playing a little bit more of Farm Sim 22. And Taz is also on there. Now he's got his farm set up with cows. And I made the best discovery of all. I can buy all of the roads and the commercial land on the map and mow grass to my heart's content. So naturally, all of the ditches are perfectly groomed and cut. We have millions of liters, hundreds of thousands of liters of grass in the silo making silage. Taz is happy because he can now feed his cattle. And everybody is making all kinds of money on grass clippings. I just finished planting my sunflowers. It is now spring on the map. Farm Sim 22 has this option to enable precision farming and also seasons. And
Mhm.
so we just got through winter. And now it's spring and everybody's trying to get their crops in because there's only a small window for you to be able to plant your crops and get them growing so that you can harvest them in the fall. So I just got my sunflowers in and everything is fertilized and the soil composition looks good. And I've got bees now, so the bees are going to be buzzing about the crops and pollinating, and that will also boost
Do
the
you get to
yield.
harvest honey?
Yes.
Yay!
I get every day I get little pallets of honey next to my greenhouse, and then I just
Oh,
like run them over to the market stall that I have on my farm and I sell them.
just be careful not to lose your swarm of bees.
Yes. I'm also growing lettuce, tomatoes, and strawberries. And I have chickens which are producing eggs. So it's a grand time. It's absolutely fantastic. But I'm really broke because it's been a hard winter, and the rent is too damn high, and I owe the bank so much money. I owe the bank like $350,000, and it's gonna be years before I pay it off. And now I'm really starting to feel the farmer struggle.
That sounds like agriculture. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like the agricultural life.
And there's no government subsidies. The well is drying up. It's terrible. It's a great time. Anyways, that's what I've been up
Little
to.
Jimmy got his hand caught in a combine.
Yeah, I am excited. Oh, it's funny. Raven and we've been playing a lot, and we're making up stories. We're making up lore about the map.
I love it.
So because I was so excited about this ability to mow the ditches on the map,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just cruising along in the commercial mower, the John Deere mower, and I'm listening to tunes and we're talking, and all of a sudden this lady comes out of nowhere and I just went right through her. Well, Gladys, who was the administrative assistant for the mayor, is now gone. But she's also the one that secured the funding for the mower, so we have her to thank for that. And also, apparently, Janice is taking her place. Raven met Leroy Brown, who is the owner of all the lands. He's the one that gives us all our contracts. It's always this Leroy Brown. Wait, it's not Leroy Brown. It's Leroy. Yeah, it is Leroy. Leroy Wilson.
Is
Leroy
it
Wilson.
bad Leroy Brown?
It's
Baddest man in the whole damn
Leroy
town?
Wilson. And Raven was joking and saying, "Yeah, I met Leroy down at the bowling alley for a beer, and he was telling me about Gladys. She just suddenly up and disappeared. Nobody knows where she went." And I said, "Huh, that's funny." May or may not have run her over with the mower. Also, I have a dog, but I don't know where he is. I think he ran away. When you want to get a dog in
Oh.
Farm Sim 22, you put a dog house down, and then the dog is just there. So I put this dog house down, and there's no dog.
Oh
The dog is, I don't know where he is. I have no idea where he is. Raven said that he's seen him out on the road. So I hope he didn't get hit by a car or something.
no. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to put him on a leash, I think, or maybe in a pen. But anyways, that's the Farm Sim saga in Edgewater, Saskatchewan. What have you been playing?
Very little actually. I also have not had a ton of time this week. I did the Fallout homework like once this week. Was that last night? That was last night. Um, and Spooky Scorched have returned for April Fool's Day weekend. And yeah, so that's always fun having the Spooky Scorched out.
Mm-hmm.
So that added an additional challenge. I'm in the 70s now in terms of scoreboard rank. And yeah, it's I don't have anything new to report in
That's all
terms of
right.
my
What if
gameplay there.
so you
Yeah.
are you planning to play anything this weekend?
We'll see. We were talking earlier. We're doing some shopping expeditions this weekend, so I might pick up a copy of Cereza and the Last Demon to finish that up. I really enjoyed the demo of that.
Mm.
And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Hmm.
So
Well, folks, that is a show. We hope that you have enjoyed your evening with us. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. If you would like to send us some stories or ask us a question about something that we've talked about on the show tonight, you can email us at info@wejustlovegames, or if you're in our Discord community, you can just drop us an envelope in the MailStack channel. As always, we are on social media as well. Twitter at We Just Love Games, myself at Vendertron N, Shalene at Shalene L. Facebook, facebook.com/We Just Love Games /group/We Just Love Games as well. And if you are listening live, scroll down right below in our Twitch page. You can get the link right into the Discord. If you are new, if you are listening after the fact, you can also always navigate over to twitch.tv/We Just Love Games and find our Discord link there. And the Discord's been super busy this week because spring is coming around. Everybody's posting their plants and their greenhouses and getting everything ready and knitting and animals, and it's like it's way more than just games. It's a community of
friends.
like-minded humans that are just good people. Yeah. So check that out. Also, check out RTZ's small city that he's building in the art stack.
It's expanded so much.
It
It's
has
amazing.
grown. It has grown. It's literally like SimCity on paper.
So fun.
It's basically SimCity on paper. We record the show live every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. Don't forget, we're also on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Please like, subscribe, and review the show, and we will shout you out. Thank you all for listening. Shalene, your last word?
Mow through the ditches and burn through the witches. That's how it goes, right?
Yes,
That's how the
absolutely.
song goes?
Yeah. Good night, all.